The Spectre's Vengeance, A Chronicle of Dread. Part 1. The Pact Sealed in Blood. Elias Sterling had traded the warmth of genuine love for the cold, glittering promise of wealth. His murder of Clara Vance was the final, irreversible signature on his pact with darkness, symbolized by his immediate partnership with the heiress, Seraphina Thorne. They settled into the Thorne estate, a monolithic structure of glass and steel that felt less like a home and more like a mausoleum for secrets. Clara, now a being of pure concentrated fury, was not merely haunting the house. She had become a malicious architect, meticulously rebuilding their world into a psychological prison. Her spectral form, often seen only as a shivering ripple in the air or a faint sulfurous ozone scent, was powered by an injustice so profound it shattered the laws of the spiritual world. Part 2. The Erosion of Sanity. Clara's revenge began by attacking the very foundations of Elias's sanity and senses. 1. The sensory torment. Elias started to suffer from an unrelenting phantom sensation, the agonizing crush of metal and the smell of gasoline. Every time he stood near a window, he would hear a faint, distant screech of tires, followed by the sound of glass breaking, always from an unreachable distance. This forced his mind to constantly relive the moment of Clara's death. 2. The living mirror. The largest mirror in the master suite became Clara's primary window. Whenever Elias was alone, his reflection would distort. It wouldn't show a monster, but a man drowning. His reflection would gasp for air, eyes wide with terror, while Elias stood perfectly still. One night, a crack appeared on the glass, directly over the reflected heart of Elias, and the air around it was perpetually ice-cold. 3. The stolen sleep. Sleep became an impossibility. Just as Elias would drift off, he would feel the crushing weight of a dead body settling onto his chest. He would wake up paralyzed, struggling to breathe, the invisible pressure forcing him to recall the final moments of Clara's suffocation in the wreckage. Seraphina often woke up to find Elias rigid and screaming, only to discover 3 lines, like claw marks, pressed into his skin over his sternum. Part 3. Severing the New Love. Clara understood that Seraphina was the prize Elias murdered her for. To truly punish him, she had to dismantle that relationship, turning his new paradise into a new hell. The photo album revelation. Seraphina owned an album of rare antique photos. Clara began to manipulate the images. One evening, Seraphina found a new chilling addition, a faded photo of Elias and Clara laughing on a beach, but Clara's eyes in the image were now pure white voids, and the corner of the picture was burned, smelling distinctly of the charred wiring from the car. The confessional whispers. Clara used the house's acoustics against them. When Seraphina accused Elias of infidelity, a rumor Elias vehemently denied, Clara's spectral whisper filled the room, sounding like Seraphina's own internal voice. He planned it. He chose her money over your life. He would do it again. The doubt she sowed was poison, shattering the trust between the lovers until their relationship became a constant paranoid war of accusations. The vile gift. Seraphina's prized possession was a massive, intricately carved antique jewelry box. Clara forced open its lock one night. The next morning, Seraphina discovered that every piece of jewelry inside had been meticulously placed into a pile, and at the center of the pile was the severed fossilized wing of a dead sparrow. It was a morbid silent threat, a symbol of a beautiful thing violently grounded and broken. Part 4. The Ultimate Isolation. Clara's revenge culminated in a physical, inescapable trap. She used her spectral influence to seal their fate within the mansion walls. 1. The electrical grid. All modern communication was violently disrupted. Phones fried. Internet modems smoked and melted. The garage door opener, and crucially, the car engine ceased to function, not by simple short circuits, but by internal components being forcefully twisted and mangled, impossible to repair. They were cut off. 2. The Hallway of Dread. The long main hallway of the estate, meant to showcase Seraphina's art collection, became a psychic corridor. As Elias walked down it, the paintings would temporarily change. Not into gruesome scenes, but into moving images of his past, a blurry silent film of him working on the brake lines, or a shot of Clara's body, her eyes open, staring directly at him. 3. The Final Scream. One afternoon, Elias and Seraphina, starving and terrified, tried to use the servants' entrance. The massive, heavy, iron-bound door shuddered violently. A sound, not a voice but a pressure, filled the air. It felt like being submerged in water. Then Clara's spectral reflection appeared on the smooth iron surface, full and terrifying. She wasn't just translucent, her face was contorted into a silent, bottomless scream of betrayal. The reflection slowly solidified, looking directly at Elias. With a sound like grinding stone, the thick iron door buckled inward. The tremendous crushing force of the spirit's rage smashed the door, sending a splintered iron fragment flying. The shard pierced Elias's throat, silencing his final, choked cry forever. Seraphina, mad with fear, backed away into the shadows, collapsing into a ball. Clara's spectral glow vanished, leaving only the sound of rain outside and the dripping of blood inside. The vengeful spirit had extracted her payment, leaving Elias a twisted mess of metal and flesh, replicating the horror she had suffered. Clara's work was finished. The house remained silent, the rich mansion now serving as the final isolated tomb for the man who chose ambition over love. Her presence lingered, a silent guardian over his eternal punishment.